Okay, so I, 34 female, married the man of my dreams last month, 44 male. And he has a 16-year-old daughter from his prior marriage. I've been in her life and she's been in mine for 4 years, and I've done my best to be there for her as a friend and trustworthy adult, and she's a really, really great kid. I felt closer to her than I did to any of my sisters, and I could see she looked up to me and trusted me. One more important thing. She's on the autism spectrum. I swear that's relevant. My husband and I went on our honeymoon for 2 weeks, and then we came back on Friday, and my stepdaughter came up to me and asked if we could talk. And she told me no one had ever been as considerate as I was, learning how to make foods in the exact way she liked them, or as patient with her poor emotional regulation, her words. I think she's doing great. And she told me I overall was her favorite person in her life, so she asked if it was okay to call me Mom. This really, really caught me off guard, and I stopped for a moment to process it, and she got embarrassed and told me she was sorry and it was stupid. But I told her it wasn't stupid because I would love that. She got super excited and hugged me, and it was lovely. I was telling my husband about it later, and it suddenly sunk in that I had become somebody's mom. I just stopped and I told him, I'm someone's mom, and he asked me if I felt like I was in the delivery room. Haha, I laughed at that, but I got so emotionally overwhelmed I started crying. This morning, she came downstairs and said, "Hey Mom," to me, and it's gonna take some getting used to, but holy shit, that was a great feeling. I still don't believe I've earned the titles, but I'll be damned if I'm not gonna try my damn best. So, it seems last month I got a husband and a daughter too. Pretty good deal if you ask me, smiley face. Comment 1. OP was learning how to make her daughter's food the way she likes. That line jumped out at me. That she thinks the daughter is the bee's knees, even though the daughter feels insecure about her behavior. Imagine the confidence she will feel and how validated the daughter feels. This brings me joy. OP. The first time I made food for all of us, within the first month or two I knew her, I made spaghetti and broke the spaghetti in half, and she said she couldn't eat it with it broken in half. Then told me she was very sorry and would make herself a sandwich, but I told her it was okay, and I could make another batch, which I did. I found out later on down the road she cried after I left because she thought she insulted me and ruined her dad's relationship with her specific food preferences. Sure, it was a little strange at first, but hey, I'm sure we've all asked a waiter or waitress for something very specific at least once in our lives. Smiley face. Update. So I recently made a post talking about how my stepdaughter asked to call me Mom, and it made me really happy. My husband has 2 children from his previous marriage, a 16-year-old autistic daughter and a 26-year-old daughter. When they divorced, his ex-wife advocated for custody of the older daughter. It sounds like it was because she was more independent and less work, and he got the youngest one. As a result, his younger daughter always felt kind of unloved by her mom and doesn't go too far out of her way to talk to her. So, the older daughter finally got a job in her field that she's been fighting for a few years, and she wanted to have dinner with the family. She seems like a nice girl from the times I've interacted with her, but her mom seems passive-aggressive and unkind. We all got to the restaurant and sat down, and it was pretty nice and civil. I was sitting next to my stepdaughter, and she was a little overwhelmed because she hadn't been to the restaurant before and didn't know what to order, so we were looking at the menu, and I pointed out a type of pasta that looked similar to something we make at home that she likes. She said, "Thanks, Mom." I guess she said it loud enough that her biological mom heard, because she literally stopped everything and asked, "What did you just say?" My husband and I tried to diffuse the situation, but she was very agitated by it, and actually asked why she did it. Their older daughter stepped in and asked if she could tell her mom about her new job, and that got her to move on finally. My step-daughter didn't say much for the rest of the evening, but on the way home she tried to apologize for ruining the evening, to which we told her she didn't. Then, if this weren't bad enough, both she and my husband received a 4-paragraph-long message talking about how disrespectful and egregious it was that she called another woman Mom, and how she was very disturbed by it. My husband is just in disbelief and feels horrible for our daughter. He went to talk to her and she didn't say much, but she clearly thinks this is all her fault. If anything, it's my fault for not discussing how she should refer to me at the dinner with my husband and then discussing it with her beforehand. I just fucking hate that this woman is upsetting her so much, and I see why my husband divorced her. Comment 1. Info. Does the ex spend time with her autistic daughter at all? If not, I'm not sure why she'd be surprised. OP. She sees her on holidays and family gatherings. That's really it. Apparently, her mother is entitled to that respect just for existing. Comment 2. I know it's not the same, but I was called mom at work. LOL. I don't have children, but apparently, I exude motherhood. Hopefully not in a bad way. The ex-wife is a real piece of work. It's nice that you took on the care of a special needs child. It is no small feat, and you are deserving of the title of mom. OP, definitely. I have no sympathy for a woman who demands to be called mom while putting in no effort to be mom, or a man who demands to be called dad. Also, I just want to say, yeah, she technically is a special needs child, but she's very capable. She has been looking to apply for an after-school job and has started thinking about college. And while she does struggle with emotional regulation and has very specific preferences for things, she's no different from the rest of us. Smiley face. Comment 3. That poor girl. If her mom acted like a mom, then it wouldn't have happened. Her actions or lack have consequences. I'm not sure if she has a therapist, but it might help explain things in a way she gets and from a professional. The biggest thing I would be worried about now if her mom keeps sending things to her or making her feel guilty about more things. OP. She does have a therapist who she meets with weekly. I'm sure my husband's ex-wife is going to come up tomorrow. Comment 4. Info. How long since the bio mother gave away her 16-year-old daughter's custody? How much time does she spend parenting her? How have they bonded? She would have some nerve to be angry that a child she is not parenting as much as you calls you mom. You seem to be a very sweet parent to her. Keep it up. OP. Since elementary school, on holidays and family gatherings, by awkwardly asking how they've been doing since last Thanksgiving. My husband got custody of the young autistic child and learned how to make foods exactly the way she needed them to be, learned how to speak her language, as he calls it, and sit and single-handedly raise a still-developing child. Then his ex-wife got custody of the high schooler who could be left alone at home and make her own food, so she could work and do her own thing without having to worry about anyone or anything. Update 2. Last week, I made a post about how my husband and my autistic 16-year-old stepdaughter went to dinner with his ex-wife and their oldest daughter, 26, to celebrate her getting a job she's been chasing her whole adult life. Then my stepdaughter called me mom at one point, and the ex-wife got pissed and stopped the whole table to make a point, and the rest of the evening wasn't great. Then when we got home, both my husband and stepdaughter got a big text message from her talking about how disrespectful that was. So the day after the incident, my stepdaughter came over to me and told me her older sister texted her and asked if she could read the text out loud. I just nodded and said, definitely. But on the inside, my eyes rolled to the back of my head like, Jesus Christ, here we go. However, her sister sent her a very, very lovely and thoughtful message saying she felt bad about what happened the night before and was sorry the two of them haven't been talking much lately and asked if she wanted to try to be sisters again. Then she said she asked her what movies she's seen lately, and movies are her special interest, so that meant a lot she asked. Not gonna lie, I was caught off guard by her sincerity and kindness. It was very, very sweet. Then later that day, I got a text message from her older sister, whom I assume got my number from the younger stepdaughter, and said she wanted to get to know me better since I am legally her stepmom now and I'm the woman her baby sister is calling mom, so she definitely wanted to try to get to know each other. She also mentioned that she didn't get to celebrate her sister's 16th birthday with her and felt that was a really big deal and asked if the three of us could get dinner and see a movie. Tonight, the three of us went out and saw a movie and got dinner by ourselves. My younger stepdaughter picked the movie and she loved it, but my older stepdaughter and I didn't get it, but all that matters is that she liked it. Then we sat down and had dinner together and had a very, very nice time. Then on the way out, my younger stepdaughter asked if she could run into the store next to the restaurant to buy something really quick, in and out. So we said all right. While she was in the store, my older stepdaughter told me she wanted me to know she misjudged me and watching the two of us interact both at the dinner the other night and tonight, me going through the menu with her to find something she likes, me advocating for her when their mother got upset, and how she clearly feels comfortable talking around her, and that she completely understands why I'm now mom to her. All in all, a pretty great night. After I got home, I saw she sent me a text related something we talked about. So looks like we're gonna be talking now. Still got some stuff to work out with her biological mom, but we'll take this as a victory. Anyway, yeah. I just figured I'd share something positive since there's a lot of negativity on Reddit and with my current situation, so I figured I'd share a positive update. Smiley face. Comment 1. I read the last post when it happened. I'm so happy about this development. I'm so happy your daughter is being supported by her older sister, and your family feels like it grew a bit more. Congrats and thanks for the wholesome update. OP. Yeah, it made me really happy to hear they were talking again. I left this out in the post, but I remember a few months ago, my younger stepdaughter was trying to tell her sister about a movie she saw that meant a lot to her, and her older sister was being very sarcastic and snarky about it to get her goat, and she actually started crying. So, I think it's great they're getting along.